So apparently, in today's generation, it's okay to be a talk, but not okay to be a nerd. Well, I'll tell you this right fucking now. I'd rather be a fucking nerd who knows how to build his own computer, set up his own fucking network, and read a ton of fucking books to actually know shit than to be a thug, walk around on the street every goddamn day, having no job, and listen to some garbage ass trap music. No, that life is not for me, okay? I'd rather be a nerd and actually get myself some education and all of that, because that life is way better. So, let's get this review. Let's just fucking do this review. I just had to say that because I just don't understand some people, like, really seriously. But whatever. So the show opens up where we see Dixie Carter talking to someone, where she says that she trusts this person and that that tonight's show is all in his or her control. Of course, obviously it's a guy. So basically this person gets to control tonight's show, and later on we will get to see who that person is. And after that, then the show starts with the Miracle coming out, Mike Bennett with Maria. Mike Bennett talks about how Dixie thought things went out of control on last week's show, which is why she had to why she had to put someone in control of tonight's show. And then he continues saying that he knows it's not him. Obviously, she wasn't talking to you. Yeah, but he says that he knows that it's not him because he gave Dixie his MySpace, lol, his AOL. I haven't heard that one in a while. Today's kids will have no idea. The shit we used to use back in the day, AOL, MSN Messenger, MySpace. MySpace was like the Twitter and all of that combined in one. Those were the days. But yeah, he said he gave her all his social networks, but Dixie did not contact him. And then he gave Maria the word. Maria, of course, as usual, her the same freaking thing she always says. She's the leader of the knockouts, and then she says if it's anyone that should be in charge, it's her. Then Mike calls out the person who Dixie puts in charge, and then EC3 comes out. So EC3 was the person that Dixie put in charge. I already knew that it was Dixie Carter with the whole way the person was standing and the fact that he had a suit on. I already know it was EC3. But so EC3 again bragging, telling Mike Bennett that he wanted a rematch, but Mike Bennett always came up with excuses and found a way to get away with it. And then EC3 gives himself that match between him and Mike Bennett at Slammiversary because he's in charge. He sort of makes the rules, so he took the opportunity to make the match himself. And then he says he gives Mike. And then he says he gives Mike the night off from wrestling because he wants Mike Bennett at his best. So basically Mike needs to rest and all of that so that he is full conditioned and all of that. But after that, then Mike says that ratings go up in each segment he's in. I'm not so sure about that though. And then he says people call his name, advertisers throw money at TNA every time he's in that ring. And then he says he will take the night off. But then EC3 is gonna make but then EC3 says you don't have the full night off, you just have the night off from wrestling. And then he says he's gonna make EC3 clean some toilet. And then he tells Maria he's gonna have a job evaluation and also call out Gil Kim. So basically he's gonna settle this whole situation between Maria and Gil to see if Maria deserves the spot or she should get fired. So after that he sends Mike Bennett and Maria out of the ring, and then Lashley comes out. Lashley saying EC3 keeps putting his nose in his business, so now Lashley's gonna put his nose in EC3's business. And that one day when they'll fight, he's gonna spear EC3's ass just like last week's show, because remember he speared EC3. But then EC3 call out Drew Galloway. Drew comes out, and then we get into commercial. After commercial, we see EC3 and Mike Bennett in the restroom, where because Mike Bennett needs to clean the toilet, so they have this little talk. I'm not gonna say a lot about this segment, but that was that segment. So after that, we go back to the ring where we have Drew Galloway and Lashley, because apparently Drew Galloway needs to choose an opponent for Lashley, and then he calls out Bram. So we get a match between Bram and Lashley. That was our first match. I'm not really gonna talk all that much about the matches. I'm just gonna say that all the matches on tonight's show were solid. But yeah, Lashley got himself disqualified because he used the chair to hit Bram, and after that he speared Bram 2 times. Then Drew Galloway came out to basically stop him from doing more injury to doing more damage to Bram, and then they continue taking it to the exit, the crowd's exit. But then after that, Eli Drake came out, and I already had a feeling that he might have come out, because when I saw that Lashley speared Bram, I was like, oh, Eli Drake's probably gonna come out because would be the right opportunity for him to cash in. So he came out and he cashed in. So he went immediately for the pin, but didn't get the 3 count. So Eli Drake kicked out. So then they rested a little bit, but then ultimately Eli Drake was able to get the upper hand and got the pin for the 3 count. And your new King of the Mountain champion is Eli Drake. I'm actually glad they made him champion, to be honest, because for those who have watched my reviews from the beginning, I started this YouTube channel. I've been talking a lot about Eli Drake, how I like this guy. He's a really good talker, really good on the microphone, and he has potential. I just want him to do a little bit more in the ring though. But as far as anything else goes, this guy is good. He's just damn good. And I've been asking for them to do something special with this guy finally, and I got my wish. They made him champion, which I was also hoping that they would make him one day champion, and they did that. So my guess is that they're gonna have another rematch, basically, probably at Slammiversary. I think. If not, then maybe next week. I don't know. It might not happen, but I'm guessing that is what will happen, because nowadays what I've noticed is there are a lot of rematches are happening, and I've said this before. This whole rematch thing all the time in pro wrestling needs to stop. Just 1 or 2 rematches is good enough. You don't have to do 3 or 4 rematches or 5 rematches or all that. That is happening way too much in pro wrestling. It gets tiresome. Just keep it at 2. Okay, but I'm glad Eli Drake is champion, so we'll have to see how this whole thing plays out next week or at Slammiversary, which next week is the Go-Ho show, so I expect a lot more to happen on next week's show. So after that, we get a scene with the Bromance and Raquel, because as you know, Raquel is the guru that is supposedly supposed to help them win the tag team champions back. And then she says that the key to their success, the next key to their success is focus. So she gives them a little, she shows off, gives them a little candid show and all that. So they pretty much literally focused on Raquel, because of how hot she is and all of that. So, Raquel is hot, but she isn't my type of hot. You know what I mean? I'm more of the classy type, the classy hot. To give you a good example, Gil Kim, she's hot. She is hot. Don't tell me she's not, because Gil Kim is hot, but she's hot in a classy kind of manner, a classy fashion. And that's kind of what I like. That's kind of what attracts me. I don't really, the trashy hot don't really attract me. I'm not saying that Raquel is trashy or anything, but yeah, you know what I mean. So that was that segment. After that, we get a backstage segment again with EC3 and Mike Bennett in the restroom, where Mike was done cleaning the toilet, but apparently Earl Hebner was in one, and then he comes out, and then EC3 asks Earl Hebner if he and Mike Bennett is a superstar. Then Earl Hebner says he's a asshole. And then EC3 gives Mike Bennett his next tag, which is that he should be the referee for the next match. So that was that segment. Then we get another backstage segment where we see Eli celebrating his victory, his win, where he drinks some champagne, and then he gives the staff members a few shots and all that. But he basically just throws the champagne at him and all of that. So that was that segment. Yeah. Where am I? Hold on just a second. Yeah, here we are. So after that, we get a scene where we see Matt Hardy at his place. I'm not gonna say a lot about this as well. I'm gonna talk more about it at the end because there are, I think, 3 scenes of this at Matt Hardy's place because Jeff Hardy is supposed to meet him there. So I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that later on. But that was that scene, and after that, we got a tag team match which featured Tyrus and Spot against the Bromance, alongside Raquel, of course. I'm not gonna say a lot about this match either. Like I said, every match was solid. They weren't boring, they weren't bad, they were just solid. But the Bromance got the win. So yeah, that was pretty much it. It was a solid match. There were a lot of times where Robbie E kept on saying how he's gonna be serious, how he's gonna try and do better, but it never happens, does it? He always goes back to his comedic self, But that's Robbie E. That's what he is. He's a comedy act, and he's really good at it too. I like Robbie E. Jesse Goddard has actually become a better wrestler than Robbie E. Remember when he first came into TNA and wrestled for the first time, he wasn't all that great, but Jesse Goddard has really worked on his work ethic, and I like that. He does the best drop kick in TNA. He really does. I like his drop kicks. It's really high and it's really clean. I really admire his drop kicks. He has the best drop kicks in the business, in TNA that is. Nakamura is the best one with his drop kicks over at New Japan, or pretty much in pro wrestling as a whole. Let's be honest here. If you know Nakamura, I mean Rainmaker, and then you know what I'm talking about. After that, we get an in-ring segment with Maria, Sherry Bomb, Allison Kay, and Gil Kim, and EC3. This segment was the one where EC3 was gonna do the job evaluation about how Maria does her job and her action towards the knockouts. But then EC3 asks Gil Kim what she wants, and of course Gil Kim says that she wants to wrestle Maria because that is what she has wanted ever since Maria came into TNA, and of course EC3 makes that happen. So there we have another match that is booked for Slammiversary, Gil Kim against Maria. Yeah, right, as if that will happen. But next week we'll see. Well, I'll say a lot more on next week's show, on the Go Home show, because this is definitely not gonna be a wrestle match because Maria cannot wrestle. Okay, and speaking of Maria, the fact that she can't wrestle, she's annoying when she talks. Let's be honest here. You can't sit there and tell me that you enjoy hearing Maria talk. I mean, I know you enjoy watching her because she's hot, but talking, I don't think so, because she's annoying, and it doesn't really have anything to do with her voice. It's just the way she talks, that makes it so fucking annoying. I mean, she just needs to be her normal self. And Cherry Bomb, I already said this before, the character they gave Cherry Bomb, annoying. It's lame. They make Cherry Bomb look like an idiot with her it's ridiculous. Come on. I know it's just acting, all of that, but Cherry Bomb is a lot more than that. She isn't just some basic blonde or whatever. So, but then EC3 also puts Allison Kay and Cherry Bomb in a match between Gil Kim, with Gil Kim, her partner, being Jade. Fantastic. And so that match happened right at that very moment. It was a tag team. I liked how Jade was her partner, 2 Asians, 2 good wrestlers. As far as the match goes, I thought Jade had a much better showing than all of the women. She even out wrestled Gil Kim, like Jade really did. a lot of moves and showed us how good she really is. But of course I was looking at Allison the entire time because I really fucking love Allison. She's a fucking badass, okay? But Jay got the win. She did a package pile driver to Sherry Bomb Alley and got the 3 count. It's funny, huh? Where only in TNA you still see these type of moves happen, because apparently at the WWE, moves like that is too fucking PG or too dangerous. Which is why I don't think EY is gonna use the pile driver over at NXT. I don't know. He might do it. They might use that because that's what WWE does, But whatever. Okay, so after that we get another scene for Matt Hardy where he finally Jeff Hardy came to Matt Hardy's house. Matt Hardy basically tells him that this ends here right now, and then he tells Jeff Hardy to follow him. Then they walk to the back of the house into a farm. I think it looks like a farmhouse. I don't know if it was a farmhouse or a warehouse, but they walk to that. They go into that, and then we went to another segment, which featured Mike Bennett. He came out. Mike Bennett says he's done. He's through. He's not a referee. He's not a toilet cleaner, and that he's the best wrestler in the world. Listen here, Mike Bennett, it's going to take you a miracle to become the best wrestler in the world, okay? And you're not even close. I'm sorry. You need a miracle. And then EC3 does give him a match, does put him in the match, and it's against the Cowboy James Storm. Another solid match, another entertaining match. Mike Bennett got the win due by Maria distracting the referee. So that was just it. I don't have much to say. Like I already told you. I liked every match on tonight's show. Every match was solid. Nothing really all that great happened or all that, yeah. So after that we get an in-ring segment with Al Snow. Because Al Snow has this is with his whole it's too easy that wrestlers nowadays get into the business and all of that. They're not they don't have a lot of respect for the business, this and that. And then he calls out those 2 French guys which we saw in last week's show, the ones that attacked Shira and Grado. He introduces them, and apparently they go by the name of the Tribunal. Am I saying it right? Tribunal. That's the name that they go with as a tag team. Okay. People have told me that these 2 were on NXT, so I don't really know anything about them. So I kind of know them now. So I'll have to see how they wrestle and all of that. Y'all let me know if they are good or not, what I can expect from them, because I really don't know this guy, because I stopped watching NXT a few years ago, right when Seth Rollins went to the main stage. Right there is when I stopped watching NXT. The time when Seth Rollins went to the main stage. Actually, the time when Biggie Langston went to the main stage. That's where I stopped watching NXT. So it's a long time ago. So I haven't watched any NXT until then, of course, including WWE as a whole. But then later on, Grado comes out. Grado tells him how he's a liar, that he did use a weapon, because Al Snow said that he finished Grado with just 1 move and that he didn't use the weapon, which isn't true. So Grado showed us the clip from last week where we saw that Al Snow did use a chair to beat Grado. And then after that, Grado and Shira run to the ring and start to fight these guys, but of course they got the upper hand. So we'll have to see next week if these 4 are gonna have a match at Slammiversary, which I don't think will happen because it's too late. It's a little bit too late, or they just want to show have that on the pre-show or whatever the hell. But I don't see it happening though. But we'll have to see. So after that, we get a promo of Pepper Sparks. I believe that was Pepper Sparks, right? I forgot the name he goes by, but that was just him talking about why he's in TNA and his journey in pro wrestling and such. I believe it's Pepper Sparks because we've already seen him in TNA before. So, but now he's officially signed, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that was that. After that, we get another scene from Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. Actually, this one was the scene where Matt Hardy told Jeff Hardy that he needs to follow him around the back, and then they go into this farmhouse where we see Matt Hardy having a ring inside, and then we run into commercial. After that, we get the last match on the show because because Lashley was now the one that needed to choose an opponent for Drew Galloway, and his opponent was DK, all three of them. Again, another solid match. I'm sorry, I don't have a lot to say. I don't really like calling every move that happened in the show. If something a lot more happened during the match or anything spectacular like someone went through a table and all that, I'm gonna call that, but I'm not gonna call every match where he threw him in the corner, used to punch, did a drop kick. I don't do my reviews like that, it takes too much time. So it was another solid match, but during the match Lashley snuck in and tried to spear Drew Galloway, but ended up spearing Abyss instead. So that gave made Drew the winner of the match. He did the Claymore to Steve, and then the other finisher, and got the 3 count. So that was that match, and after that we had the final scene of Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, where Matt Hardy finally signed the contract, but as Matt was trying to fight Jeff, and Jeff made his attempt to go in that ring, Rebby then came in and threw the baby at Jeff Hardy. It scared me because I actually thought she really threw the baby, but it was a fake baby. I was like, what the fuck? She threw a fake baby at Jeff pretty much to distract him. Then Matt Hardy broke a bottle on Jeff's head behind his head and did the side effect to Jeff Hardy onto the table. Interesting. I really liked how they ended the show with this segment. It was really fucking entertaining. This whole show was entertaining. So we'll have to see. So next week is the Go Home show, and I expect a lot more talking on next week's show, which is how every Go Home show is. They talk a lot because then they get prepared. They set things up for the pay-per-view pretty much. So I'm gonna be fine with next week's having a lot of talking. Actually, tonight had a lot of talking as well, but it was good. The writing of tonight's show was really good. It was really good. This was another good show from TNA. This is the third time I actually had 0 complaints about the show, except apart from Maria, her annoying voice, the same promo that Mike Bennett keeps on having, and Maria as well, and Ellie, her character, Cherry Bomb, her character. But as far as anything else go, it was fucking good. It's another entertaining fucking show. If TNA keeps this up, I'm pretty sure they would have more people watching the product again. I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something. I am gonna do a Slammiversary preview that same day or the next day after the Go Home show with Sharia. I didn't do a review with Sharia this time because I actually came home late. I had so much just to do. I was tired, so I didn't bother her, but I will do one with her next week if she wants to. I forgot I was gonna say something. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, EC3. I thought EC3 did a really good job with the role he had on having control of TNA. All of you know, I'm not an EC3 fan, not at all. But I gotta keep my honor reviews honest. So, and I gotta give credit where it's due. So I'm giving EC3 once again credit for something good he does, and I thought he did a tremendous job at this role. He was really good. Everything was so perfect. Everything made sense. So good job. Um, I haven't given ratings lately, have I? So I'm gonna give tonight's show. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Because not a lot has really happened, but enough to entertain me and to make me give a positive review, to do a positive review. So yeah, that's it. Next week should be interesting. But let me all know what your thought is. If you've watched this video all the way till the end, thank you very much. Thank you so much, because I just started this channel and I just started doing reviews. So, and there's a lot more that I need to do to like make my channel and my videos interesting. So I'm working on that. So in the future, you can definitely expect my videos to be a lot more entertaining and all of that. But thank you if you're watching and all the way till the end. If you've liked my review, hit the like button, and yeah, see you next week. And if you want to see a sample of me and Sharia doing a review, you're gonna have to go to her channel. You're gonna have to go from her channel where she and I did a review. Okay, I'm gonna have the link as usual in the description box. Okay, follow me at Twitter. I'm gonna have that link in the description box. If you wanna add me on Facebook, go ahead. I don't mind people adding me on Facebook because I pretty much don't give a shit. It's social media anyways, so but thank you for watching and see you next week.